have done, pretty good for us. Like the likes of Al Sheesh, and obviously Rig is a real, good young talent that we want to keep seeing more and more of. And the more minutes he gets, the better he's getting. And Aqua the same. They are in the shop. They are in the shop window. I think selling some players might be the only way we can go forward. And they've said that that's the plan a long time ago. Now, are they struggling to sell them? Are they not wanting to sell them? Or are they not? The price is not right at the moment. So that's a big question as well. If we want to make, we clearly need to make some improvements in key striker position, and we would probably need to make some signings if we did lose some of these players. If we lost a Jack Clark or a Dan Neil, that would be, we'd have to bring people in to try and another pair similar who we would improve and keep taking us forward. So there's a bit of a process there, and I think we've reached for me, I think we've reached a bit of a stuttering point where should we be selling these players and getting the next set playing or coming into the club,
Seymour,
or have we before it sort of stagnates a bit and keep taking us forward? So there's a bit of a process there, and I think
the clubs. I mean, and that's a great thing to happen, to actually admit that these players go and find other clubs. I disagree with your thoughts about losing. I don't even contemplate losing Clark or Dan Neil. I really don't, because I think.
But that's the plan. I mean, I'm not talking. What you're talking about there is players who are surplus to requirements and asked to find another club. That's a different scenario. I'm talking about if the way that we're going to get into the Premier League is to have a few cycles of buy players, improve them, sell them, bring in another set of players to improve, sell them, and then go through that 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I know, Dean. It looks like the reserve team,
we should be going to the next phase now, should we? Or is this a 10 or 15-year plan?
Margot, I think the squad we have now, with the additional, like we've always said, just have a couple of front men up top, is good enough to challenge in this division. If we want to win the division or want to get promoted, maybe we are 2 or 3 players light. But I think, like I said, it's a cycle. We're at the bottom of the cycle now, but I think we've got a good, capable squad. I mean, the fact he's put out the 11 players he put out tonight proves that there's some decent players there. I think we're on the first step, and as long as the Sunderland fans embrace the fact that we're not going to go up there, not going to do it if we run away with the league and the Leicester and that. We are where we are. Let's improve steadily rather than be just going up ready to come back down again.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, tonight, as I say, for me, tonight's a big night, and I really, really wish them all the best. All the fans who have travelled over there once again, another journey, weekend away after Cardiff, they've got to be applauded for doing it. It's an absolute...
Definitely so.
Indeed so, yeah.
The support the club have got.
Ian, thank you for taking the time to speak to us. Good to talk to you. And obviously, there will be plenty of opportunity on tomorrow night's show to reflect on tonight's game. A couple of more quick messages.
I'm Maverick, you all right?
We hand over to Barnsley and Benno. Lots of people getting in touch about Mark Gay. William says, has Gay's performances in the Euros increased his value that much? It seems his potential transfer has been handled very differently to all our others, not least it being played out in public. Much better when Amanda Staveley handled the deals. A good player, but nowhere near Palace's valuation. Surely time to move on to Plan B, says William. Simon in South Shields, mind you, on a slightly different topic, Steve, has suggested that Newcastle go for Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, welcome to the MACKEM CABBIE's channel and the
he can play
full
wide
match commentary of Preston against
I don't
Sunderland.
know where that one's come from, but
I need to change that
scoreline. I think he's on absolute
fortune. Been a bit too optimistic.
He will be, and he's not perhaps the player he was either. Is that fair?
Listen, I mean, I've always liked Raheem Sterling, but for me, when he was at Liverpool, when he was at City, yes, he scored goals, but I think he misses too many chances. I think his final ball isn't what it should be. Not for a player that is being valued that much. I mean, obviously his pace gets him in, and as I said, he does create stuff. He does score goals, but for the amount of times he's in those positions, for me, he doesn't do it enough. I know people might think that's crazy, but it just doesn't. Plus, as I said, I think the wages would just blow everything up that all the Newcastle players are on, which doesn't do dressing rooms any good, especially if he's not doing very well. And again, with the Gahey thing, do I think it's too much money for him? I think he's a very good player, but at 70 million, is that too much? I think so. But, I'm not desperate for him.
Hello, Billy J.
And,
how are you doing?
This one's from Rich in Heaven.
Preston team
Marco,
looks
one
close
thing that
to
doesn't get
first
mentioned
11.
enough
Could be a
regarding
tough
Dennis
ride.
Sirkin when he
Yeah, I
plays the
know, I
team,
know.
doesn't double up on Clark.
I mean, we all want to win
he's
games,
so good
but
going
to be honest
forward
with
and
you,
on
I think a
the
lot of
ball. The
Sunderland
extra man
fans
is
deep
left on
down,
Sirkin due to the threat that he carries.
it's
So
the
he's
league,
as
isn't it?
important
That's
as anyone in
priority.
the squad. Obviously, those guys aren't involved tonight, but is that a fair point?
No, I think he's a key player for us. I think we're always a better team when he plays. I think he has. What I like about Sirkin is that he can go inside or outside Clark. He's not afraid to run inside the 18-yard box and get on the ends of things. And he's contributed some very important goals as well. So, no, I think he's been one of the biggest successes for me, Sirkin. I was talking to a friend of mine's a Tottenham fan, and I was talking about him at the weekend, singing his praises and how much we missed him last year.
Okay, thank you, Marco. Thank you, Steve, as well. Speak to you both very soon. Marco back on the show tomorrow. Steve back on again next week. But kickoff is coming ever nearer. Time is ticking. So next you will hear the build-up to that kickoff. You'll hear from Regis Lebris and from Dan Neil as well as Barnsley and Benno. That's all coming next
on BBC iPlayer. We're all going on summer holiday.
That's something I'll probably have to trim out now from YouTube. A bit of Cliff Richard. Oh dear. The things you've got to do. The things you've got to do. Mike Cassab, hello, how you doing? Kate and Joy, thumbs up for Cabby. Hello, Kate and Joy. Welcome to the channel. We're kicking off in 15 minutes. Kate and Joy, all right, mate, just subscribed. Well, thank you very much indeed. I do appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Looks like Preston temp manager wants the full-time job with the squad he's picked. Yeah, hope we win tonight, Kay and Joy. Yeah, thanks, mate. No, you're welcome. You're welcome indeed. The commentary is on at the moment, but because it's the pre-match entertainment, because of all the music playing, I can't put it up on YouTube. Just because of the copyright, which is a pain in the backside, I do know. Oh, dear me. Here we go. But yeah, thanks for the subscriber there. Thank you very much. I'd love to get to 3,000 subscribers. I've got 2,476. I've got nearly 90 subscribers from the last stream away to Cardiff. It was fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. So thanks everybody for subscribing. So what's everybody's thoughts in the chat then? Do you like the League Cup, or do you feel it's a bit of a waste of time? It's more of a hindrance because, you know, it's a fixture we didn't really want. We're not that bothered. Look, we're not going to win the League Cup for the start off. You got your injuries to worry about. Or do you think it's a good thing to have a cup run? Bring more money in the further we get. Adam Clark, hello mate. Sheffield United started on a -2 point. Yeah, they certainly did, and that's why when you do look on the league table and you see Sheffield United on 1 point when they've won, it's because they're -2.
Bright spark that night was Mundell. But again, they've got another good opportunity here
So
to show the manager what they can do.
Hear
We'll
okay.
hear Lebris's thoughts on that in just a moment. But I don't think it's any surprise. It wasn't a surprise to me that Mike Marsh named a strong Preston team. I think he's got a point to prove.
Yeah, definitely so. I'm not surprised at all. You know, he's been put in a
Cheers,
position now
Joy,
where,
thank you.
you know, if he gets a result here and maybe another 2 or 3 on the road, he might get the job. So it's a good opportunity for Mike Marsh. And, you know, I were expecting anything least than a strong team tonight.
They've got a set of black and white photographs on the wall of the hallway into the boardroom here of past
So rumours
managers.
Sunderland
Simon
could possibly
Grayson
be
and
starting
Alex Neil are together. David Moyes
in their
is in
third
amongst them as
strip.
well. That's 3 former
Don't know if that's
Sunderland
2 or not.
managers, 3
I don't think it
former
will be, but
Preston North End managers.
soon
All
see.
3 of them
That
out of work at the
deduction
moment,
means absolutely
and a vacancy here at Deepdale.
not that.
Yeah, but, you know, when you talk about Preston North End, you know, you're talking about history. You know, you're talking about a
Look,
club
I think
which
in
has
the
got
Premier-
history
in
really,
the,
really deep
in the
inside. But,
Championship, I think
you
you're
know, you look
definitely
at the
looking
game
at Sheffield
tonight, and I think
United.
one of my concerns is,
Burnley once
you know,
again are gonna be
tomato.
up
Other words, tomato.
Even the
You know,
likes
and we've seen it at Bradford.
Leeds
He was
United,
on the
you know.
bench. I think
You're always gonna
majority
get
of
that.
players
You're
got on
always gonna
that
get
night
teams
against
coming down from
Bradford.
the
He
Premier League.
didn't. Another
That's
great
got that
opportunity here
experience.
for him.
That's got the money.
Not in the starting lineup.
We've just got to
You
do
know,
our
and then
own
you're going to
job.
be thinking, you know, where does he sit at the football club? You know, is he one of the players who it looks like has to be loaned out?
It'll be interesting to see if he gets on tonight, especially with the fact that on the bench you've got Dan Neil, Luke O'Nien and Trey Hume. If things aren't going as Regis Lebris hopes they go.
Yeah, and again, you know, if they're not going well, then yeah, we've got 3 first-team players, so-called first-team players on the bench.
Oh.
Will they come on before?
Got 47
Samir?
people
you know,
coming into the
Samir,
chat already
you know,
watching.
and maybe they might even
Hey,
put
thanks
Luke
a lot.
O'Nien up front before him. So you know, that's a question which
I will
you know,
be showing
he has to sort out
highlights,
himself, because again, if
any
he
goals
cannot
or any missed
get
chances,
into the
I'll just
starting
flick my phone
lineup,
up like
as
that
I said,
so you
he's
can have
made
a quick
11
look.
changes, then you know, it is a concern.
Well, you touched on it. They didn't impress at Bradford 2 weeks ago. They were beaten by...
There's the music in the background again in the background, so I better be careful.
We approach
And
the,
meanwhile, let's listen
the
to Regis
games
Lebris.
in general. We want to be adaptable, so this will be a very good occasion to deal with this kind of problem. So for us, we need to focus on our game and the way we want to play this competition, the way we want to organize our team, and after
Yes, darling.
on the pitch, after maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes, we will see if our expectation for this game are the ones we prepare or other one. We'll see. There were a difference between the first game they played together against Eldense and the second one against Bradford. And I hope the third one will be better, because they need, obviously they need some reference, they need to play together. And now, later in the season, I think we'll have another step with this team. So the opposition, the fact that it will be an official game as well, will be helpful for their involvement and the way they could play together.
Total Sport Northeast.
Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett MBE.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Regis Lebris looking ahead to tonight's game. We're dealing with a PA system here that is banging out at around 1,000 decibel. We're going to get a new PA system at the Stadium of Light at the weekend. It'll be interesting to see how that sounds.
See how that sounds. Yes,
What?
indeed. Huh? What?
I can barely hear a thing here. I don't know if that's old age or if it's just the fact that it's so loud. The rain looks like it might be easing off a tad before kick-off. We're going to hear from Dan Neil in a moment. I did want to mention something we talked about briefly at the weekend at Cardiff. George Hurd, his funeral. I can clarify, it is on Friday lunchtime, 1:30 at Sunderland Crematorium. So the funeral of George Hurd, 1:30 on Friday lunchtime at Sunderland Crematorium. I wanted to mention something else as well ahead of the weekend. Slightly sad news.
Hello, Richard Stedman. How are you doing? Rooson, first goal scorer, and Mundle 2-1 win. MACKEM on a mission. Welcome along, mate. Thanks for popping in. There's no way we won't concede with this defence, so hope we are capable of scoring a couple. I know I don't want to sound pessimistic, but deep down inside, deep down, would you be bothered if we're out the League Cup? I want us to win, of course I do, but I just think the League Cup's it's just a hindrance. I don't know. Thanks for the other subscriber as well. Thank you. Yes, my darling. What? Eh? Do you want to go to Wallaby Farm Park tomorrow, Anna? All right, okay.
Because I remember when you got the captain's armband, was it last season or the season before? How
Hello,
proud
Derek
you were
Mate, how you doing? Nice to see
be
you
given
just
that.
got in.
Now you've been made.
Good evening, Ken Walton.
Obviously I was buzzing last season, but I knew that it was a short-term thing. I knew that kind of Luke would come back into the team and Corey towards the back end of the team, so I just tried to enjoy the moments back last season. Whereas this year it's a full-time thing.
If you have a look at the pin post at the top,
I really enjoyed it today, walking the lads out first game of the season. And, I'm just glad we got off to a good start with a nice 2-0 win and a clean sheet. So,
I mean, you all just want to get started, don't you? But it must be very satisfying to get that first game out of the way, and it's a win.
Yeah, the first game's always a really tough game because you don't know what team's going to come. I think credit to Cardiff, to be fair. The last 2 years, that Cardiff out there today was a lot different to the one the last 2 years. In the previous years, they were very direct, kind of sat off out of possession, whereas they were the complete opposite today. Lots of fluidity and good movement, and they try to press with. And I think them types of games last year we might have lost because we weren't at our best today. I think that's obvious. But I think that just shows how far the groups came. Like I said last year, I think we would have struggled to win that, but we showed the togetherness to make sure that we come out with a win.
I mean, you say you weren't at your best today, but I always felt that when Sunderland were in the Cardiff penalty area, they looked the more likely to finish chances, to score chances. I mean, for all Cardiff's possession, when they got in that final third, they seemed to lose an identity or soon lost ideas.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to the game model that we're trying to work on. When we get breached, it's fall behind the ball, don't let them score, defend the box, defend the goal. Last year we probably didn't do that enough, and we were almost thinking about going forward again. But I thought we always looked dangerous on transition with the players in attacking areas. We've got Jack Clark, Pat Roberts, Romain Mondo when he comes on, me, and they've got pace and they can damage teams. And I think getting that first goal was massive because it allowed us to almost sit in and almost encourage them on to then hit them on the counter attack. And that second goal really killed the game off.
It looks like Dennis Serkin's going to have a part to play in that sense this season, because it's always been a bit of a problem, hasn't it, set pieces and getting in that final sort of 6-yard area. But Dennis already, that goal at Bradford last week, he sets up the first today.
Yeah.
You can see he's going to have a pivotal role when it comes to those sort of set piece issues.
I thought Dennis was absolutely brilliant today, considering the length of time that he was out for last year. To come into a tough game today at a tough place to come. I thought he was absolutely excellent. And he brings that different dimension from a fullback. Trey's very much touch, pass, move. Dennis will drive with the ball and drive aggressively, and he's really good in the air, as you've seen. I think he scored a good number of goals 2 years ago towards the back end of last season. I think that's another weapon that we need to utilise, and I thought he was excellent today.
And you in again as the defensive holding midfielder, which everyone talks about you positionally. Think you probably want to be more forward. Are you happy to be? You're happy to be playing, obviously, but would you rather be in that further forward role?
I think it's always been a question, like going even through the academy. Am I a 6? Am I an 8? Back then, am I a 10? I'm not a 10
Hello,
anymore.
Jill just popped in from the Toon Review. Good luck for tonight.
I
Thank you,
enjoy both
Jill. I
roles,
did say hello to the lads. Hope you are doing well, lads.
A lot of the ball, but you're
and
not as
Hall,
far, you're not as close to the goal.
Anderson, Bar,
Involvements. So you play further away, you don't get as much of the ball, but you're going to get more goal involvements. And I think one of my biggest attributes is organising and being that voice on the pitch.
Hello, mate. How are you doing?
You can do that easier from being deeper.
Sunderland. John winning. Hello, John. How are you? Players getting game.
I'm enjoying the role. I've still got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Because it's a different type of number 6. Last year we played with 2 pivots. This year we're playing with 1 pivot. I just need to keep working on it, I'm enjoying the role.
Total Sport North East.
The EFL Cup.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Tremendous turnout from Sunderland.
Music again. Welcome to everybody in the chat as well. 97 in there. Still no Pavida. I know. Paul Champion, welcome. Texas listening. James SAFC Ramsey, hello mate. How you doing? Good to see you're in. 2-1 Sunderland. Where are the lads? Ollie Sims want Bellingham to score as well as a brace for Clark. Absolutely. Jill, I'll check in later. See how you're getting on. All right, Jill, take care, pet. Well, that's not going to happen, Ollie, says SG. So here we go. Let's
First round
go,
cup
folks.
tie.
Let's go.
The draw for the second round following the Middlesbrough Leeds game tomorrow night. Preston North End, who have never reached a League Cup final, apart from in wartime, when they were the winners of the League Cup wartime trophy in 1941. In fact, it's Preston who now get underway, but then the referees pulled it back to the halfway line. Rusin was all poised to kick off. Preston now have done so and have to do so again as they get things underway with Mads Frokjær Jensen, the Dane, playing the ball back into his own half, and it's kicked long down into the Sunderland half. Hooked away by Ashish up into the centre circle, where a tackle by Barr is penalised on the Dane, Mads Frokjær Jensen, the 25-year-old, signed last season.
And again, from both ends, Nick, you know, set pieces are important, defending and attacking wise.
The experienced Robbie Brady is going to take this free kick. Him and the other wing back, Brad Potts, are back in the middle of the Sunderland half. Brady then with the free kick drives it towards the far post. It's nodded down, hooked away by Zach Johnson, up to the halfway line. Rusin trying to get on the end of it, but he's beaten to it by Brady. It's played out by the goalkeeper, Freddie Woodman, into the centre to Ben Whiteman, and back it comes to Freddie Woodman, son of course of the Bromley manager, and once upon a time a Newcastle United player. You can hear the Sunderland fans away to our left. Over 2,000 of them have made the trip tonight. So now
110 in already.
On halfway, Rigg nods it down. Johnson plays the ball all the way back to the goalkeeper, Simon Moore, and out eventually for a throw to Sunderland on the far side.
Apart from the Sunderland end, just about, it's a very empty stadium.
Preston half to take
usually
the
is
throw.
everywhere for the League Cup, isn't it?
Hard to say how many Preston fans are here tonight. There are a lot of empty seats because a lot of change with the departure of Ryan Lowe yesterday, as Preston squaring the ball here to Brady, just short of halfway, back to Ben Whiteman. He swings the ball forwards, looking for Andrew Hughes. Hughes heads it on. It's put back by Triantis into the Preston half. Up goes Mundle with Jordan Storey to try and win the ball, but it eventually drops to Hughes, played back to Woodman, who's all in yellow, the Preston keeper tonight. Up onto the halfway line, Brady looking for Emil Rees, another Dane, playing up front alongside Will Keane. Throw for Preston in their own half, taken by Hughes on this left-hand side. Back across to Jordan Storey, the former Exeter City central defender. He's been here 6 years. The ball headed away by Kjelder. Will come back over his shoulder, and Johnson puts a foot in. Barr now having to dig this one out. Down the left wing, looking for Ashish. Mundle, well, he gave chase, but the ball zipped past him, accelerated up to Freddie Woodman, who plays it out, strokes it out to Andrew Hughes on this left-hand side, through the centre, played out by Frokjær Jensen, won back by Sunderland. Kjelder plays it out to Zach Johnson on the touchline, into the middle. Ashish tackled, but the ball cleared back up to the halfway line, and it's with Whiteman, who just slips it to Hughes. The Storey out wide on the right side to Brad Potts, the former Carlisle United and Barnsley defender. who's impressed over the years. It's played into the edge of the Sunderland penalty area. Triantis plays it out. It falls to Mundle in the end, but he can't keep hold of it. And now Brad Potts lays the ball off onto the touchline. It's slipped back inside to Jordan Storey. Forwards again, and played all the way back by Preston from not far out of the Sunderland penalty area into the Preston half. But they build again out to Brady on the left-hand side. Inside then to Ryan Ledson, one of the 3 changes made by Mike Marsh tonight for Preston. And then back to Liam Lindsay in defence, and back to goalkeeper Freddie Woodman. The ball is zipping around when it's on the surface with the amount of rain that's fallen. We're in the 6th minute. Preston North End 0, Sunderland 0, live on BBC Radio Newcastle.
It'd be interesting to see Ekwa's performance tonight. You know, I think he feels as though he's being maybe pushed out, or he's struggling to get in.
He had been injured, in fairness, in pre-season, so he missed 2 or 3 matches because of that. He's not really got on the ball yet tonight.
A lot of speculation about him, though, isn't there?
Yeah, and I guess if you're talking about outgoings, I mean, all the talk's about Clark, but with the number of midfielders they've got now on the books, Ekwa would be one that you feel, if you can get good money for, would probably be expendable. It's an argument, but he's a Sunderland player at the moment. He's in midfield in his lime green boots. The ball has bypassed him again. It's come down here to Triantis, who's trying to find Aushish, and now Barr on the right touchline. He gets a good old-fashioned shoulder barge from Brady, kept going, but then took the ball over the line, and it's a throw to Preston North End on their left, halfway inside their own half. 0-0 as Brady plays the ball up to Frokjar Jensen, comes back through though to Hjelde, who's looking now for Mundle on the far side into the Preston North End half. Behind him is Joe Anderson. Anderson back to Hjelde, who is captain tonight. Slipped past Mundle and back with Preston North End. Out to Potts on the right touchline in front of the dugouts in the stand on the far side. Deepdale Preston picked out in huge blue letters above the stand, and the clock in between the two, which is coming round to 5-8 as Frokjar Jensen tries to find Rees at the edge of the penalty area, cut out by Aushish up to Rusin. Rusin on halfway on the right, back to Barr. Barr back to Johnson. Zach Johnson taps it back inside to Triantis, across to Hjelde, and closed down by Rees. Plays it wide to Anderson. Anderson back to Moore. Simon Moore making his debut tonight for Sunderland. Here's Triantis out to Johnson, inside to Aushish, looking for Barr. Challenged by Hughes. Barr's ridden that one. He manages to slip the ball to Ekwa. Ekwa's looking now for Mundle. Great ball out to him on the left wing. Mundle now head down. Potts chasing back. Mundle still going down the left of the penalty area. Was he tripped? The ball goes behind off Mundle for a goal kick. I think Mundle, it would have been very interesting if he'd gone straight down.
Yeah, interesting one. Could he have stayed on his feet? There's a lunge there.
Yeah, there was. And a goal kick was the consequence in the end. It's played out here by the keeper straight out behind Robbie Brady for a throw to Sunderland, halfway inside the Preston North End half. Taken by Barr, quickly back to Johnson. Zach Johnson just inside the Preston half. Chris Rigg just taps it back to him. Back again to Triantis. Ekwa just in front of the Australian, who gets the ball back from Pierre Ekwa, and now out on the left wing. Joe Anderson swinging a high ball deep into the Preston half. Woodman's come out to the corner of the penalty area, takes his own defender out, but it's cleared right down the touchline by Jordan Storey, headed away again by Anderson on halfway, nodded forward by Ben Whiteman, picked up by Ekwa, laid off here now to Zach Johnson. Simple but effective ball, and Johnson's urging Barr to push
on fire
on.
down the left, like he's
played
causing
it
havoc.
past
He really is.
Johnson back into the feet of Andrew Hughes.
There's a little bit of misunderstanding there, Johnson. He thought Rusin was going to make a run.
Now with Hughes again, back inside to Liam Lindsay. A Welshman, a Scotsman and an Englishman in the back three. And here is Ryan Ledson playing it to the Englishman Story, to Potts on the touchline. Mundle trying to push him, and it's come back to goalkeeper Freddie Woodman. Tapped out to Lindsay, the Scotsman, who swings it all the way up the other end to Simon Moore, who catches it in his green goalkeeping kit at the corner of the penalty area on the right-hand side. 10 minutes played, Preston North End 0, Sunderland 0.
There's no pattern to the game yet, is there? Really, no momentum from both teams.
The ball at the feet of Simon Moore, played out to Chris Rigg, plays it across to Anderson. Oh, it's played right back in and hooked away by Simon Moore. Kept in on the touchline by Joe Anderson. No, it wasn't. Just went out.
Yeah, Ashish was asking a lot from the goalkeeper there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Moore.
It's a throw to Preston, halfway inside the Sunderland half, down the line to Will Keane. That's one back by Sunderland. Mundle can't get on the end of it. Ben Whiteman will take the throw, or certainly retrieve the ball. He'll leave the throw to Brad Potts. Potts, 30 years old now. He's been here since 2019. It's quite an experienced squad, quite an ageing squad. Whoever takes over here has pointed out to me earlier, a lot of these players arrived in Alex Neil's time as Preston manager. As Ekwa brings the ball away now, and to Chris Rigg in the middle, in the centre circle. Chris Rigg out here on the right-hand side to Zach Johnson, out to Barr on the right wing. Barr now cutting back inside, trying to dribble through, slips it through to Rigg, back to Barr in the middle. Barr still going, tried to find Ashish, it's stabbed away by Whiteman. Ekwa wins it, plays it to his left-hand side now to Anderson, looking to get it into Rusin down the left edge of the penalty area. He's got Lindsay on his shoulder, it comes back out to Mundle on the left, corner of the penalty area. Mundle skips round one challenge, still dribbling into the penalty area, tries to slip it through here, on the left, Ashish to pull back, and Barr can't go down the end of it. Woodman falls on the ball at his feet.
Excellent play.
Good from Sunderland. They kept the pressure up, they exerted pressure.
Passing the ball around really, really well and quick here.
Kept them working, but couldn't quite find that final ball.
Yeah, good run by Mundle again, getting in the box, and good movement by Rusin.
P&E, Jeff, welcome along, mate. Welcome along.
0-0, the ball headed away by Hjelde.
That's a foul.
Surely on Mundle.
Yep, may the best team will win. Welcome along to the channel anyway, mate.
Free kick.
And good luck this season.
Just in front of the dugouts, wide on the left. Anderson's going to retrieve the ball.
Don't forget, click the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you're new. Thank you very much indeed. Massive, got 192 people now watching for the EFL League Cup game. Sorry, a League Cup game, should I say. Thank you so much.
Here is against Luton Town. Their next game, Preston, is away at Swansea on Saturday. Here's Woodman outside his penalty area on the right-hand side, hooking the ball up over the halfway line. Back it comes to Zach Johnson. Johnson on the right-hand side, rolling it out to Barr, who went to dummy Brady, caught by the Republic of Ireland international. Free kick taken by Sunderland quite quickly. Hjelde over on the far side. You can see a mist steam starting to rise here where the rain has stopped and the heat is permeating the ground as the ball played into the penalty area by Preston. Ekwa calmly deals with it, leaves it for Hjelde to come out on the left-hand side to Anderson, who skips down Ashish, who skips down the touchline, looking for Mundle, who's shown good control, and eventually the ball tapped out into touch for a throw to Sunderland, halfway inside the Preston half. Ashish back to Anderson, looking for Rusin. Rusin on the left side, he's having to work hard to try and keep the ball. It's eventually tapped out for a throw to Preston. You know,
I don't know the position exact, but I would say Sunderland about 80%. They've just got all possession at the moment. Sunderland,
so he can run on to.
They're passing the ball really nicely round at the minute. It's just all Sunderland at the minute.
6'4" in the heart of that Preston.
So welcome, Pork Sam. Welcome on the channel. Max Wright, welcome on the channel. Is there no website to watch? There's bound to be something on somewhere. And Day Torn of Fire, Mundle looking promising.
Put clear by Triantis.
SJ, I play Mundle up front against Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh, neat, lovely control. Beautiful control from the youngster, just to bring the ball down, skip away from the Preston midfielder, play it out to Zach Johnson, back to Triantis, not to Ekwa, now in the middle, in the centre circle. He plays it away down the left wing, looking for Romain Mundle. It'll go behind off the defender for a corner.
Well done.
Mundle's pressure, Portsmouth 0, Millwall 1 in the competition.
Excellent.
Quickly taken short, corner. Sheesh swings in the cross, looking at Bar!
Oh, he's got to score.
It down, it's bobbled past the foot of the post.
Oh, man!
That was a great ball in.
It was a brilliant ball in.
Oh, man.
Bar just failed to make proper connection with it.
That's a miss, Nick. All he had to do was a clean connection.
Oh, Bar, for God's sake.
It's a goal.
You're not doing yourself any favours there, Denver Barber.
A cross by Ashish.
Denver Barber.
Inviting him just to get
Have a
on
look
the
at
end
this.
of it.
Lovely ball in.
Lovely ball in.
So
he's got to do better than that. Gee, crikey.
Sunderland should be 1 up.
I didn't even connect with a head.
Here's Rigg in the centre.
Ekwa so Jake.
The referee for a push.
Mark Naylor, evening Cabbie seems like been business days. Yeah, absolutely.
Centre circle. I was about to say, actually, this first 15 minutes, Sunderland have shown so much more than they did at Bradford 2 weeks ago.
And they're going to be a critical hit. That was a glaring miss by
I just don't understand what they don't do in training. You think Bar would do that multiple times. Crosses coming in, getting his header on. Looking at that, it's like he's not played football for a year.
The
well done, keeper.
Jensen, but straight into the hands of Simon Moore. Poor free kick from Preston. He's big, tall.
Hello, Tucker. How you doing?
Lanky Dane, Frokjar Jensen. And now here's Bar looking to
PNE, I know
right wing. He was just caught late after the ball had gone by.
I would love to show you the full game, Max. I really would. But YouTube won't let me.
Right by the assistant.
You've got to get up, and the game's going on.
Yeah, the assistant's just ignoring him. Andrew Hughes forwards down the left here to Brady, and inside to Frokjar, and he finds Rees, the two Danes together here in midfield for Preston, but it's won back by Sunderland. Johnson to Triantis, who's worked his way out and gets the ball down the touchline to Rusin, keeps it in, cutting inside now. Rusin still going, flicking it through into the box. He looked for Bar.
Gary Bennett's sigh always tells you, doesn't it?
Able to read it quite comfortably.
When you listen to Gary Bennett's sigh, he goes,
gives it away to Rusin, who concedes a throw.
I've got to say, it was a good run by Bar.
It was the ball that, he made the right move. The ball let him down. Bright though, these last few minutes from Sunderland. The throw from Preston as Zach Johnson gets above Robbie Brady. Powerful header out, throw again to Preston North End on this left-hand side. It'll taken by Andrew Hughes, halfway in his own half. The ball drops to Will Keane, hair in a ponytail. And he plays it back from halfway to Freddie Woodman, the goalkeeper, just outside his penalty area. It's 0-0. We played getting on.
Do you think I'd get away with that, Lee? Hello, Billy Fly. How are you doing, mate?
And Bar has had the best opportunity of the game so far. Mundle now has brought the ball down on the left edge of the penalty area. Slips it through here now. Shisha back heel. Rusin can't control it. Mundle's trying to. And in the end, it's dug out by Ryan Ledson on the goal line. He manages to win it again and clear from Sheesh.
Every time we're on the attack,
Chris Rigg on the edge of the box, crying for the ball.
It before it's going to happen.
He's got the ball again now in the middle, Chris Rigg. Lays it off to Zach Johnson. Johnson out to Bar here on the right-hand side. Bar back inside Rigg. He's got it on to his left. He's going to look up and slip it into the middle to Ekwa. Ekwa now urged to shoot. Finds Sheesh just in front of him, who does shoot. Woodman spills it at the first attempt, but grabs it at the
We're
second
destroying
attempt.
these at the minute, mind.
Oxford 1, Peterborough 0. Fleetwood 1, West Brom 1, Portsmouth 0, Millwall 1. The other scores so far tonight in the League Cup. Freddie Woodman has the ball at the edge of his penalty area, the 27-year-old who's been here 2 years. He was signed from Newcastle, but of course he spent most of his Newcastle career out on season-long loans at the like of Swansea and Bournemouth. As Brady forward swings a ball into the 6-yard box and is headed behind by Hjelde on the shoulder of Brad Potts for a corner to Preston. Preston's first corner will be taken down here on the left-hand side by Frockyar. I'll just call him Frockyar each time, giving him his full double-barreled name. Mads Frockyar. The referee has run down all the way to the corner here. The ball appears to be touching the white line. There's a debate going on about that. And Frockyar has moved the ball back with the tip of his finger about a centimetre. And the referee's
moved it back out again.
And now he's moved it back out again.
Very ridiculous, isn't it?
Farcical as that. Bromley 1, Wimbledon 0. And the ball played in. Oh, it's come down off Mundle. It's cleared off the line by Moore. Yeah, that was a bit of a mess. But somehow Sunderland managed to survive that. The ball's played back into the area. Zach Johnson heads it down and out across to Mundle. And Mundle breathes a heavy sigh of relief, no doubt, and plays the ball back to Anderson. Anderson playing the ball down that left wing. Freddie Woodman's father's team, Bromley, of course, winning tonight at home against Wimbledon. Sort of derby that is. Here's Will Keane.
Great tackle.
Well tackled in the penalty area. It's coming across.
There's a foul.
There's a foul on Rusin. Meanwhile, Ekwa.
Ian Curry, our good channel moderator, good evening, mate. How are you doing?
Penalty area.
And don't forget to like and subscribe, boys and girls. Thanks again, mate. Watching it in the shower.
Is the
referee's
coming
back?
I don't think
he is.
Back up on his feet.
It's great tracking there by Ekwa. Great tackle inside the 18-yard box. You had to make sure it was right.
It's going to get some treatment. Brief stoppage because of the injury to Pierre Ekwa, almost halfway through the first half, a quarter of the way through the cup tie. Preston North End 0, Sunderland 0, and Bar having the best opportunity of the game in 15 minutes. Over the years we've been here a number of times. There's a remarkable scoreline, by the way. Stockport 0, Blackburn Rovers 4. So only just down the road, relatively speaking. Of course, the most memorable game we saw here was not only that 3-0 at the end of the season before last, but when Mick McCarthy was in charge and they had to win to stop that incredible run of defeats, which all the players from Darwin Football Club were here watching that particular game, hoping that their record would be broken, but it wasn't.
Yeah, we're going back a few years there, Nick.
Yeah, 2003, wasn't it? 2004, 2003-04 season. Barrow 1, Port Vale 0 in the competition. Sean Thornton and who else scored that day? It was 2-0 anyway. And Sunderland laid to rest that particular hoodoo. Cambridge 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. 0-0 here. Ekwa's back on his feet. He's on the touchline on the far side. And Woodman takes a free kick out to Hughes, out again to Whiteman, wide on the left-hand side, the former Manchester United midfielder. He too has been
Simon John, hello, welcome on the page, mate.
Wide to Brad Potts, Potts inside to Frockyar, and now Ledson, who plays it back to Liam Lindsay on the halfway line.
3 subscribers, 2,480. Thank you.
Now bringing this forwards on the left of midfield, Swansea 1, Gillingham 0. Here's Hughes, and back across to Story, Jordan Story to Brad Potts. Potts taking this on down the right wing, but he's tackled by Mundle. He spins around Potts and is taking this away on the left-hand side. And then his foul by Potts. Free kick to Sunderland. Watford 1, MK Dons 0.
Fantastic work there by Mundell. Get him back, doing his defensive work.
The ball back to Hjelde, left of the penalty area. Anderson makes a run down the left wing. Hjelde runs into trouble. He catches Ledson, who threw himself at Hjelde, and Hjelde has shown the yellow card. They're standalone, the yellow cards in this competition, so they don't impact the league. Not that that's going to be a big issue for Leo Hjelde, one imagines, at the moment. 25 minutes into the first half here at Deepdale. The free kick just a couple of yards in from touch, halfway inside the Sunderland half on the right-hand side. Sunderland in the red and white stripes tonight. Preston in their white shirts. 2 in the wall. Barr and Rusin.
And again, concentration here, Nick. Defend set pieces.
Sunderland gather on the 18-yard line. Pretty much in the D as the free kick then from this right-hand side. Frockyar has left it. Brady with his left foot. And it's headed down by Hughes and palmed away by Moore at the foot of the post. That was a chance for Preston. Moore managing to scramble it away from Andrew Hughes. 0-0 still. It's come back out here. Whiteman's shot is blocked. Out to Ledson, who puts a cross into the far post. And it's headed away by Ekwa, who will give chase down towards the corner, keeps it in. Rees goes with him, but Ekwa just hammers it up over the halfway line. It'll come back to Woodman. And that was an opportunity for Preston, but a good save by Moore.
Good reaction there by Moore.
So 0-0 still. Bromley 1, Wimbledon 1. Down on the left wing, Story and O'Sheesh. What a battle between the two. It's won by the Preston defender, but only at the expense of giving the ball to Mundell. He's just in front of the centre circle. He rolls it to his left now to Anderson. Anderson leaves it inside for Mundell. Back eventually to Ekwa on halfway. Back again to Hjelde. Hjelde back to goalkeeper Simon Moore. Equaliser for Port Vale at Barrow. Barrow 1, Port Vale 1. Ahead of the Cumbrian derby at the weekend. Carlisle against Barrow at lunchtime Saturday. Norwich 1, Stevenage 0.
No.
The ball swung out ahead of Zach Johnson. It's out for a throw to Preston on the left-hand side here. Inside their own half, deep inside their own half. A couple of balls on the pitch, one is dismissed, and Hughes will take this throw. 0-0. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Throw down the line, Triantis shanked back over his head. It was cleared then by Hjelde. Headed on by Whiteman, back from Sunderland up to Woodman at the edge of his penalty area. He rolls the ball out smartly to Story and out to Potts on the right wing. And he will drive it down that line, looking for the run of Frockyar. But he slips, and then so does Hjelde. Slips over in the Sunderland penalty area, but finds Simon Moore safely. And now
hello,
Triantis.
Jill.
Triantis will
morning
bring this
from
out down
Brisbane.
the right-hand
Hello.
side, up to the halfway line. Slips it into the middle to O'Sheesh, back to Ekwa, wide to Anderson, back to Ekwa. Will Keane goes to close him down. Ekwa holds him off, is tripped, but the referee is not. Ledson plays the ball through, looking for Frockyar, but it's been cleared out to Barr, tries to knock it past Hughes. It'll come back though to Lindsay. Derby 0, Chesterfield 1, and Ledson plays the ball up through here, right through the middle to Rees. Lays it off to Frockyar, out to Brady on the left wing. Brady looking for an option, still taking it on down the left of the penalty area, plays it back to Hughes. Hughes wide, slips it out to the touchline to Brady, down the line to Frockyar, back inside to Brady. Line trying to find Rees. Brady now runs into Chris Rigg, throws him to the floor. Free kick to Sunderland.
Excellent defending there. by Chris Rigg.
Brady pausing for breath, crouched for a moment, stands up, slightly winded. Goes down again, crouching in front of the referee, who's come back to see if he's okay. Bowed over, head to head with Robbie Brady, Ollie Yates. As the conversation continues, they both stand up. The referee double checking that Brady's okay. Pulls himself up, jogs away. Still clearly not entirely comfortable. Triantis is going to take the free kick for Sunderland. On this right-hand wing in his blue boots. Half an hour played, 0-0. Gets the ball back. Turns away from Ledson, slips it through to Rigg. Rigg, he's won it back after Brady won it initially from him. And there's a push in the back of Rigg by Robbie Brady.
That's got to be
and a yellow card for Brady.
Well done, Chris Rigg.
So the Preston man goes in the book, joins Kjelder.
And is Brady struggling?
He is,
Gone down
isn't he?
again.
He's not comfortable. He's crouched down again. It's the groin area, I think, he had the problem. And he's crouched down again. The referee's over him, just leaning over him.
I wouldn't let bar anywhere near a football.
Brady stands up awkwardly, I think. I don't think he's entirely comfortable. Strolls away again, but I wonder if he's going to carry on for much longer. Triantis over the, or Auchiche, sorry, over the ball for the free kick to Sunderland on the right-hand side of central midfield, halfway inside the Preston North End half. 0-0 as the ball slipped away to the left to Anderson, who lifts one into the penalty area, headed out, and it will be picked up on the left-hand side here, the left wing, by Rees, who's had to battle to get this back, actually, to Whiteman, who drives it up into the centre circle, looking for Frockyard, but headed powerfully away by Anderson. Straight, though, to Story, out to Potts. Potts closed down by Mundle, plays it back to Liam Lindsay in the middle of the Preston North End half, and he slips it then into the feet of Ben Whiteman. Half-time at Brunton Park, just up the M6 from where we sit. Carlisle 0, Stoke 0. That game kicked off slightly earlier than most of the games being played tonight. The ball comes back to Freddie Woodman at the edge of the Preston penalty area. Charlton 0, Birmingham 1. Out to the left here now. Hughes looking for the run of Rees. But out comes Moore, gathers this to the right side of his penalty area. Rolls it to Kjelder, who brings this out into midfield for Sunderland. Slips it to Ekwa. Ekwa back to Leo Kjelder. And back again to Pierre Ekwa. Across here to Triantis. Triantis looks up as he gets towards the halfway line, slips it through to Barr. Barr back to Triantis. Nice ball down the line to Zach Johnson. Johnson then on down the right side of the penalty area.
Good
Rolls
ball.
it in here, stabbed away by Woodman. Ledson clears it into midfield, and Frockyard lays it off to Potts. Well, he tried to, but it was intercepted by Rusin. And now with Mundle. Mundle shoots, bobbles awkwardly, but Woodman gets his body behind it and makes the save.
Good partner play there by Sunderland. Great ball in by Johnson. You just think somebody needed to gamble at the near post.
Goalless then.
Not bad effort, that.
33 minutes. Woodman just drops the ball to his feet, then with his right drives this up over the halfway line, looking for Rees. It will bounce through.
Thanks to the 2 subscribers. Thank you very much.
Moore right at the edge of his penalty area on the left-hand side. Pierre Ekwa's having an exchange with the referee about something. Triantis is bringing the ball out now, striding out through the middle. Ekwa from the back of the centre circle plays it all the way back to Simon Moore, who taps it out to Kjelder, who plays it across here to Triantis. Triantis just passes it through into Auchiche in the centre circle. He tried to find the gap to get Rigg through and away, but it was blocked by Preston. Up to Will Keane now. Keane under pressure from Auchiche. Comes back down to Hughes inside the Preston half. Now with Lindsay across the Story and out to Potts on halfway on the right-hand side. Back inside to Frockyard. Potts again, plays it back to Story. Jordan Story back to Freddie Woodman. Woodman coming out in his short sleeve yellow jersey, his big white gloves. In the middle, Whiteman. And he plays it across on the right again to Story and Ledson. Ledson to Potts. Potts back to Ledson. Looking to try and get it down the right wing for Rees. Cut out by Anderson. Now with Rigg. He's left it for Anderson on the far side. And one back on the right in the penalty area. Rees is still going. A save by Moore.
Good save.
Made himself big in front of the Dane and managed to block the shot from Rees. It was an opportunity. I think Emil Rees would feel he should have done better. Wigan 1, Barnsley 0. But it remains 0-0. That chance coming in the 35th minute. So another opportunity goes begging, but this time to Preston.
Good block by the goalkeeper Moore. Made himself big.
Yeah.
Mistake by Anderson.
So now back up the other end with Woodman. Goalless. We are just under 10 minutes from half time. Chris Rigg on halfway. Back to Triantis in the centre circle. Back of the centre circle. Down the left hand side. Anderson coming forwards. Rusin trying to lay the ball off for Mundle. It comes back down the touchline and Anderson floats one up towards the corner of the Preston penalty area, but it's cleared. Drops for Frockyard. He's got Potts on the run down the right. Lovely ball through to him. Slipped it down that right hand side and Potts is on the run into the penalty area. Squares the ball and it's in from Preston. Somehow the ball off Ledson, bobbled over.
Every time we didn't put your chances away, like
Simon Moore. Potts' break set that up.
Oh,
the ball squared into the penalty area. And the run through the middle.
Once again, if you didn't put your chances in, bar
Preston, but they managed to knock the ball through the middle past Moore, and Preston take the lead in the 30th.
Yeah, and it was a mistake by Sunderland. It got interception, and then all of a sudden they broke with numbers. Ball played in, and I don't know if it's taken a slight deflection.
I think it did off Johnson. I think it just came up off Johnson's foot. Watching a replay now on a big screen above the Sunderland fans, it did seem to roll up over Johnson's foot, and I think that's why it looks so strange. Ledson was the goal scorer, not Brady. I thought it was Ledson. I was right initially. And he'd made a run right through the centre.
Yeah. And he's taken a deflection and it's wrong-footed the goalkeeper.
So Preston lead. Moore left stranded by that deflection. And we are heading towards half-time with Preston 1 up. It was all set up really by that break down the right, wasn't it? That the run that Potts was on, sprinting away down that right wing to cross.
Hello guys, cheers.
Square across the penalty area.
That was a big deflection
at the other end, trying to work an opening, but he's being thwarted by Robbie Brady, who's
and
slipped the ball to Will Keane. They're looking to get away again here. Preston North End away down the right again to Brad Potts. Frockyard back to Potts. Closed down, he managed to skip away from Chris Rigg, gets the ball across here on the left, eventually to Brady, and Brady, he's miskicked it completely.
But that's it, that's football, isn't it? Every single time you don't put your chances away, especially sitters,
but we've just got to be
you're not going to win
down
games.
that
I keep
side,
on saying,
you know, when
you only type when you win, and says Preston North End, Jeff.
Counter-attacking numbers.
Can't beat a bit of banter.
39th minute, Preston 1, Sunderland 0, Cambridge 0, Queen's Park Rangers 2, on the latest score. Johnson to Aqua, out to Barr on the right. Hughes all over him, free kick to Sunderland.
Yes, darling. It is, it's getting dark, darling.
Taken Played across towards Anderson, who's calling for help here as Potts gets on the ball again but puts it out. Throw to Sunderland. Throw will be taken by Anderson. Across comes Ekwa. Kjelda's across there as well. It's still raining, actually. It's still steady rain here at Deepdale. It's been raining pretty much most of the late afternoon. Triantis brings the ball up through the middle. Swings it out to the right-hand side, looking for Barr. Barr inside here to Rigg. Rigg swings a ball across to the left wing, looking for Mundle. Runs onto it, but it's just bounced off his right foot. It was a full stretch. He looked to try and bring it down and control it, but it ricocheted off him behind for a goal kick.
Hello, Roland. How are you doing, fella?
Switch that ball. Unfortunately, he's just come off that surface. Just couldn't control it, Mundle. It's a good test now for Sunderland.
Yeah,
test the character.
Behind,
you know, he's just gone behind.
So Woodman placing the ball for the goal kick, right side of his 6-yard box. All the players over on that right side. And the kick from Woodman driven low onto the head of Ekwa, looking for Frockyar. The ball headed away by Kjelda. Potts on the far side, trying to get away again. He was tugged back, and he's won a free kick.
Again, down that right-hand side again, Nick.
Yeah. And that's where they're getting the joy, isn't it? Preston leading 1-0 at 37th minute goal. We're in the 41st minute. Frockyar and Brady over the ball on the far side. Just a yard or two in from the touchline, a third of the way inside the Sunderland half. And two in the wall, Rusin and Barr again. Again, all the Sunderland defenders around the 18-yard line in the D.
Do you think we're too deep?
Well, we'll see, because Brady's going to swing this in, looking for Rees or Story. And it's swung in, it's hanging in the air at the moment. Hughes at the far post, he brought it down onto his left foot and flicked it at Moore, who caught it. It was the Preston man, though, who got on the end of it. Derby 1, Chesterfield 1. 1-0 to Preston North End here at Deepdale as we approach half-time. And Mundle, he was pushed by Frockyar, but he managed to steady himself, gets the ball back to Kjelda. Huddersfield 2, Morecambe 0. The ball played down the right. Barr inside to Rigg. Nice ball in for Rigg to try and winkle his way through here now for Aushish. Punched away by Woodman. Good attempt by Aushish. Probably a comfortable save for Woodman. Punched it away rather than caught it. And eventually out on the left-hand side to Mundle. Walsall 0, Exeter 1. There's the ball with Rusin trying to weave it in for Mundle. Edge of the area. Twists and turns. Back to goal now. Plays it back to Ekwa. Ekwa to Barr. Back to Ekwa. And out to the right-hand side to Zach Johnson. Oxford 2, Peterborough 0. 43rd minute. Preston leading here 1-0 as Ekwa wheels away into the centre circle. Back it comes to Triantis and Kjelda. Triantis plays it out to the left, looking for Mundle on the touchline, can't keep it in. Throw to Preston.
Just going back to that opportunity, good build-up play. Being Barr, Chris Rigg. Good effort by Ashish, but it was a nice height for the goalkeeper.
Height straight at him. Didn't cause him enough problems, but shot on target nonetheless. Throw which Brad Potts will take on the far side as we approach half-time. Will Keane nods the ball down. Anderson just hooks it right through the middle. Hughes heads it back to Woodman, who just lets it roll to his feet. And he will pick it up now as Rusin went to close him down. Woodman poised to kick. Players are drifting towards the right-hand side. Rusin alone up front for Sunderland. The kick up to Rees. Brings it down in front of
Anderson.
And what was he penalised for there? Was it a foul on Rees? initially. It's a free kick again on that right-hand side, just a few yards in from touch, and again it's going to be, I think, Frockyar and Brady over the ball. Huddersfield 3-0 up on Morecambe now. Again, Sunderland assemble on the 18-yard line at the back of the D. Brady and Frockyar. It may be a free kick for Frockyar this time, 2 in the wall as ever. And it's, of course, Barr and Rusin. As Brady, it is, who with his left curls this in straight into the hands of Simon Moore. Sheffield United 0, Wrexham 1. We'll get a roundup of all these scores at half-time, of course, just keeping you in the picture. Here's Triantis out to the right-hand side. Plays it over the halfway line to Rusin. The fourth official shows we'll have 2 minutes. We played 15 seconds of those 2 minutes. Watford 2, MK Dons 0. Hjelde out to Anderson. Preston lead 1-0. The ball comes back to Hjelde. He's looked up and played it left again, this time to Anderson on halfway. Down the line, looking for Ashish inside to Mundle. Mundle twists and gets it through past 2 players, but it rolls out off him, out for a throw to Preston. Halfway inside their own half. And Brad Potts will take the throw. Played nearly a minute of the minimum 2 being added on by Ollie Yates, the referee. And Potts hurls this down the line, headed away by Mundle, hooked away by Whiteman, back up down the right wing for a throw to Sunderland. 50 seconds of the first half left. Throw back to Hjelde, back to the keeper. Simon Moore passes it out now to Triantis. Triantis pauses a moment and plays it across to Hjelde in the middle. Out wide to Anderson. Anderson just into the Preston half, but he's passed it straight to Ledson, who's looked up and trying to get Frockyar away on the right wing. He's tackled by Anderson right on the edge of the penalty area, and the ball goes out for a goal kick. Frockyar sitting on the deck and he's furious, barking at the assistant, but he's not going to get anything. Goal kick to Sunderland, and we've got 6 or 7 seconds left of the minimum 2 minutes. So one imagines that when Simon Moore pushes the ball out or kicks it upfield, the referee, who's looked at his watch now, will blow. He's about to his half-time. So he's going to blow with Preston going in at the break, leading by that 37th minute goal. A little unfortunate for Sunderland, though the build-up by Preston was good, but the shot took a slight deflection, rolled up off the foot of John.
There we go. It's again, we don't put our chances away. That's what's going to happen. And I don't care what anybody says. Yes, my darling. You what? You want to tuck you in? You want to tuck you in? So go and grab yourselves a cup of tea, everybody. I'm just trying to sort out this scrolling for the football. So let's have a bit catch up on the old chat then, yeah. I look better in the middle, do I? I'm just trying to... There we go. There we go. So there we go. It's just a case, isn't it? You just don't put your chances away. This is why you cannot play a bar. You cannot let them anywhere near the side. Because I'm sorry, like, if he's gonna miss things like that, what chance have you bloody got, man? But like I say, these footballers, the train things. I'll just shut the door, darling, and keep you warm, okay? Okay. You know, I mean, what the hell do they, like I say, what do they do with training? I mean, how many times is Bar going to get the ball crossed to him in training? How many times he's going to head the ball? You've seen him there, and it's like, it was a great cross. It was laser guided to his head. And he was like a pig with a basket of strawberries. He just, you know, what the hell is it? Is he actually a footballer? Is he actually a footballer? I don't know. I don't know. Unless I'm just being picky, I don't know. Ah, dear. Zab Frisco 72. He says, "Wow, Saturday's team would thrash these." Yeah, they're not. They're nothing special, Preston. Not being nasty, like, you know. But hey, they're winning. That's the main thing, and the Preston fans will be pleased with that. Jilly says, "What new players did we get?" Oh dear me, I've just dropped something on here. We've got that Brown. I think we've got the goalkeeper. we just need 2 strikers. We're hanging on and hanging on and hanging on and waiting for strikers to arrive at the club, because as you'd have to see Denver Bars miss. Zafisco, our kids are the better side, but like I say, it's putting the ball in the net that wins your matches. Watson on, bar off, says Richard. SJ, get Watson on, bar off. Ken Udale, hello mate, welcome along. I'm 70 and I could put a better performance than Bar. D Hall says subs, NA, Nokia, Neil, Himia, or 9, Bennett, Hume, Watson, Crompton and Jones. SJ says Watson did well in pre-season. Johnny Ainsworth, Watson would help. Peter Harvey, welcome mate, says bring Benetta on in place of Bar. We'll be better off without anybody coming on instead of Bar. Just take Bar off, didn't have to replace him, we'll still be better off. Roland Sinclair, they get hurt, bud. Simon says Debris to be sacked in the morning and get Rooney in. At least we can be called Rooney Sunderland. Oh yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Zafisco, despite the score, yeah, Simon cleaning supporting the Mags. David Graham, welcome mate. Last home game of the season was Sheffield Wednesday. First home game of this season is Sheffield Wednesday on Sunday. Amazing what computer fixtures bring up. Of course, you can listen to the match live right here as well. Uninterrupted commentary. 12 o'clock kickoff as well. Roland Sinclair, no, you're correct. We're not playing that old attacking game anymore. We pass back too much. Simon, is Bar reincarnation of Milton Nunes? No, I think Milton Nunes is miles better. Ken Udale, just saying that sitter Bar missed. God, he didn't know whether to head it, chest it or handle it. Even balancing it on his bell end, mate, to be honest with you. I think he didn't know what he was doing. How's Triantus looked? He's not too bad. SJ, not a mag. You just don't get my jokes. Michael Atkinson, when Bar first arrived, he looked decent, but over the last season, he's lost his way and his confidence looks shot. A shame for the lad. A fresh start would be best all round. Jevons 20, it's Carabao Cup, lads. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, I know. Look. You want to win the games, of course you do. But people will slate me for this. I'm not going to lose any sleep if we lose tonight and we're out of the Carabao Cup. Seriously, I'm not going to lose any sleep. I'm just looking at this as well as a bit of a friendly game, to be quite honest with you. Because I just think the Carabao Cup's just an absolute hindrance. I mean, it's the league. We want to get up in that league. We want to be in the playoffs. You didn't want the Carabao Cup to get in the way, because let's face it, you're not going to win the thing, are you? It's the same 6 teams in the Premier League that's going to lift the trophy all the time. I mean, the Premier League teams only take it serious when they're in the semi-final or final. But neither team in the leagues below have got any chance at all. So it's an absolute waste of time. That's what I think, anyway. Tim the Minion, hello mate, welcome along. Loads and loads and loads of comments here. Jevons 20, he's got to give others a run out. Not much to complain about. These are in our league too, so far not that great, but they are championship too. They are indeed a Jevons 20. Welcome along anyway, mate. Phil McKee, hello. How are you doing? Exactly. Regis Labrie came in late and he's using this game as an extra friendly to assess the squad. Absolutely, that's how I'm feeling about it. I'm not going to go to bed absolutely massively depressed if we lose this tonight. Tim the Minion, evening all. I thought the Assis chance was better than the bar chance. The ball was at his feet and he hit it straight at the keeper. Rig looks different class in this team, he does. Simon says, agree Stu, it's a waste of time trying to progress, just adds more pressure with games. Of course it does. These cup games help with fitness. I'd also rather not head into the Sheffield Wednesday game on a loss. No, I can see that point as well. Roland Sinclair, do clubs get more cash if they play? I presume they get a bit more cash the further into the league competition and the rounds they go. D Hall, Preston are a solid team. Kidding ourselves if we thought our second string could beat them. Michael Atkinson, the cup gives minutes to the fringe players, so it should be a useful competition. There doesn't seem like there's enough reserve games to keep these players sharp. Yeah, I know. Jevons 20 says, to be fair, only cup I would take serious is the FA Cup. Yeah, and even a lot of teams don't take that serious, do they? Simon says, should be beating Preston though. This is top v bottom. Jevon says, Simon, we're using a National League level team, mate. Especially the defence is terrible, says SJ. PNEG Jeff is laughing at Simon. You'll be happy today, tonight so far. Peter Harvey, we'll probably get Mendy on last day of deadline day. It's going to be a certain. We're going to get somebody, isn't it? On deadline day. Jevons, thanks mate. Good stream, Cabbie. You're welcome. Cabbie, grab your boots, says Ken U. Dale. Simon says, good song for the fans at the weekend. I'm Mendy by me. Get shot of ball, not Equa. So it's time for me to shh. Let's get on with the second half. Can Sunderland turn this round? We'll soon find out.
That's Potts and Brady. Midfield of Ledson, Whiteman, Brockyar, and forwards Reese and Keane. So Rusin waiting. Ollie Yates, the referee, gets us underway. Leighton Orient have scored to make it 3-0 against Newport in the cup tonight, and a long-range effort from Reese, which Moore has to go down to his right and turn away behind for a corner right at the start of the second half.
And again, a sloppy start to the second half. Nick would give the ball away, and a good save by Moore, turning it round for a corner kick.
So this corner on the far side, the left, will be taken by Frockyar. Down at the end of the tunnel, the dressing rooms are in the stand on the far side. From where we sit in the big Tom Finney stand, the ball swept in, dips through towards the back of the 6-yard box. Story manages to get it to Ledson just outside the D, whose shot is blocked, and it comes back now from Story back through to Potts inside the Preston half, and back to Freddie Woodman, the goalkeeper. Preston leading as we go into these opening minutes of the second half, 1-0. The sky is turning purple around Deepdale. Right, dramatic looking colour mauve almost, the sky now, as the ball comes back to Freddie Woodman again, who's all in yellow at the edge of his penalty area. Rolls the ball out to Brad Potts. Potts playing it down the right, looking for Emil Rees. Lincoln 0, Harrogate 1. Zach Johnson plays it to Chris Rigg, just right of the centre circle. He lifts it across to Anderson here. Anderson now through to Aushish. Strong challenge on him from behind by Story. The referee was about to blow, but he's left Preston with the advantage. And Potts gets away down this right-hand side, taking on Anderson, slipping it inside to Frockyar. Cut out though by Rigg. Plays it to Anderson, who looks for Mundle. Mundle now on this left wing, up to the halfway line. Puts it over the foot of Ben Whiteman, who slides in, catches Mundle. And it's going to be a free kick to Sunderland on the left. Just tapped back by Mundle to Anderson. Back again to Hjelde. Hjelde pauses, plays it out wide again to Anderson. Back again inside to Pierre Ekwa. Ekwa back to Hjelde in the middle of the Sunderland half. We're 3 minutes into the second half here, live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Back it comes again to Ekwa, wide to Anderson. Slips it through the legs of Frockyar to Hjelde. Rotherham 0, Crew 1, and forwards down the left wing to Mundle. Away comes Rees, he's got the ball off Mundle, slips it inside to Potts. Potts, he's been beaten to the ball by Hjelde, got in front of Brad Potts and gets it back to Simon Moore, who plays it out to Zach Johnson on the far side, and he played it off Robbie Brady. And it comes off Johnson in the end for a corner to Preston.
Yeah, and you've got to say that Preston are starting to ask one or two questions of Sunderland. We're struggling to get the ball out.
Frockyar's gone down to take the corner again on the left of a stand behind the goal, which is probably about a fifth full. Frockyar arm raised briefly with his right foot again, hangs it in the air towards the far post, looking for Story, who heads it back down to the edge of the area. Saved by the knees of Moore from Whiteman. I'm not sure Moore knew a great deal about that. Whiteman put it right through the middle of the penalty area.
Practically dominated.
Moore, I think, just happened to be in the way more than anything else. But they get the ball out here, down the left. Now Sheesh is beaten to it though by Hughes, who slips it inside to Potts, forwards to Whiteman. And he's given the ball away to Chris Rigg. Rigg now to Mundle in the middle, urged to shoot. Mundle goes down at the edge of the area, just through his own momentum really. And now it's broken for Barr in the penalty area, trying to get it back to Rigg. Rigg has still got it, despite Frockyar trying to get it off him. Plays it to Barr on the right. Barr trying to cut back in, pushed out, and then he finally finds Ekwa. Barr again, tackled by Brady. Falls loose for Hjelde to put down the right to Rigg. Rigg brings it down. He's going to hold it for a second, and now looks for an avenue to go. He's not sure where to go with this. He goes down the right. Johnson plays it back to Barr, and that move has probably stalled now.
Because there's no movement in the box, Nick.
As it comes back to Hjelde in the midfield. So 1-0 it remains. And the ball on the right of the Preston penalty area being pushed out to Whiteman. And
thank you, Evan.
Out to Potts on the right wing. Norwich 3, Stevenage 2. An advantage played on the halfway line for Preston. Brady slips it back to Ledson. Rolls it to Hughes. Back into Ledson, just inside the Sunderland half. Now through on the left to Will Keane. Keane to Rees, looking to get the ball down to Ledson, but it's blocked and played off Ledson behind for, well, it's come off a Sunderland defender off Ledson for another corner.
Yeah, you can see
a bit of pressure coming from Preston here.
Yeah, the experience, you can see the experience between obviously Preston and Sunderland, but at times we're panicking a little bit. But again, we've got to concentrate here, you know, from this set piece, Nick. I think Preston have been looking a threat from set piece, especially corner kicks.
Well, they tend to try and look for Jordan Storey, but Storey's on the penalty spot now. Procchia, the right arm raised yet again. Whiteman waits at the back of the box. Procchia again hangs the ball up, looking for Brady this time on that right side of the penalty area. Nods it back down towards the back of the box, looking for Whiteman, but it's been intercepted by Rusin, who's blocked by Whiteman, finds Brady. Now Storey strides across into the corner, gets the ball back behind him to Brady, who's battling with Ashish, who manages to win it for Anderson, who finds Rusin down the left wing, who's trying to get out, but in slides. Well, Lindsay caught Rusin, hurt himself in the challenge. Rusin's hurt as well, and the referee's going to give, I think, Sunderland a free kick for that Lindsay challenge.
Yeah, we're starting to make one or two, shall we say, bad decisions.
They need to get a spell on the ball and slow
things
down a bit.
They can scrap the EFL
Just to,
I'm really not bothered about it.
Gather their
Got an amazing sunset outside. Have a look at this.
Thoughts for a moment or two. This might,
I don't know if you can see that.
Be a good pause for them. The drop ball to Anderson, just to
That's an incredible sunset.
Steady the nerves a bit. Here's Anderson, foot on the ball, back behind him to Hjelde. Hjelde just bringing this out, can play through the middle, then swings it wide right, looking for Barr, but the ball easily headed clear by Brady up to Keane in the centre circle.
The sunset. I don't know if you can
laid
see
off to Procchia. Rees looking for the return ball through the middle. Rees now, Ekwa's all over him, but Rees shakes him off, finds Procchia, back to Rees, lets it run through to Keane. Keane behind him to Whiteman, and then Ledson lifting it up into the penalty area, hooked away by Anderson at full stretch. Ashish trying to win it back, but he's given it away to Potts. Potts out to Procchia on the right. Procchia slipping it inside to Rees. Rees back out to Procchia on his right hand side.
On the screen.
And Procchia being forced out by Anderson, plays it back onto halfway to Liam Lindsay, slips it inside to Hughes, back to Lindsay and back to Woodman, the goalkeeper. Sunderland have seen that attack off, but they come again. Preston down the left, they're trying to get the ball work forwards. Drops though for Rigg. Was he caught on the ankles? He's recovered, he's still got the ball, he still has it, tries to curl it into the penalty area, comes back out to Ekwa. He plays it down to Barr on the right. Behind him is Johnson. Johnson back to Barr on the right of the penalty area. He's got Brady in front of him, puts the ball in the box. Whiteman clears straight to Johnson, back to Triantis, drives it into the box, headed across the area to Potts by Preston.
Just can't see your score.
And he swings it out for a throw to Sunderland. Orient 3, Newport 1.
I'll take a photograph of the sunset right now outside my window.
Battling with Potts, comes back to Ekwa, and now with Rigg. Rigg over on the far side to Johnson again. Johnson coming forward. Sunderland fans trying to urge Sunderland into the Preston penalty area. Ashish trying to set one up, but it's blocked. Comes out, back up to the halfway line. It's won by Rees, tackled by Triantis. He gets the ball back from Rusin. Ekwa to Rusin down the right hand side, out to Barr on the touchline. Rusin's made a run into the penalty area. Barr trying to find a way through, can't. Ledson's going to get the ball clear. Comes back up to Triantis and Hjelde on halfway, with Anderson here on the left of the centre circle. Push forward to Ekwa. Ekwa, 56th minute. Preston lead 1-0. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle.
Nothing shows up.
Played down the line to Barr. Barr being forced out. Can't find a way past Hughes. It's a throw to Sunderland.
I think that what we're lacking, Nick, is people in the box, options in the box. Which at times we've got nobody in the box.
There's a Preston player.
Yeah, I just don't
stretching
think we're
his
on a month of Sundays today.
calves. I think it's Rees sitting down just inside the Preston half. Referee allows the physio on to give him some treatment. It's been a fairly frenetic start to the second half. 10 minutes played.
I think it has, but it's in Preston's favour, Nick. You know, I think they're showing their experience. I think they're managing this second half far better than Sunderland. At times we've got the ball, but we haven't got that options in the box.
We're lacking an outlet, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're lacking that little bit of movement in the box.
All the players taking this opportunity to go across and get a drink on the far side as the mauve sky turns to dark blue. Stockport have pulled a goal back against Blackburn, who were out of the blocks like a steam train. They were 4-0 up in no time, but it's now Stockport 1, Blackburn 4. It's Preston 1, Sunderland 0.
Second half, mind.
Players drifting back onto the pitch, and there's a change here.
Brady's gone off.
Yeah. Sam Greenwood, who's on loan from Leeds. Brady, who was struggling in the first half, looked like a groin injury. Replaced by Sam Greenwood, the Sunderland-born, former Sunderland midfielder, who, of course,
hey Colin, how you doing, mate?
left for Arsenal, then signed for Leeds in 2020, and last season was on a season-long loan at Middlesbrough. Still only 22 years old. Play underway again.
Deadline
to
days
Anderson
we'll
on this left-hand side.
Now we will get a striker deadline day or two.
Back to Hjelde, and now with Triantis slipping it through, trying to get it through to Rusin. Cleared though by Preston, a foul by Rigg on Will Keane. Just back in the Preston half. And this will be left for the goalkeeper to take. Woodman comes right up to the back of the centre circle in his yellow kit. And everybody drifting towards this near side. Potts wide. It's floated out towards the corner of the penalty area. A little flick down from Rees, who's back on after the cramp that he was suffering. And Barr is trying to get away on this left wing, but wins a throw.
Yeah, and you can see what Sunderland have done. They've swapped the wingers. Barr's
Mundell's
playing down
right,
this left-hand side, and Rundle's gone on the right-hand side.
Ball back with Moore, plays it out to Triantis. Triantis bringing this out, leaving it for Rigg, who's caught, and the ball slipped through to Rees at the edge of the penalty area. He's holding off Triantis at the moment. Plays it to the left-hand side, and the shot from Greenwood straight at Moore. 1-0 still to Preston. Out quickly to Barr on the left into the Preston half. He's got a lot of work to do, but wins a throw. Story's trying to complain that it came off Barr. The assistant's flag for a Sunderland throw as well. The referee's indicated that. Forward comes Anderson to take the throw for Sunderland. Back it goes to Hjelde. Hjelde back to Moore, who's come out into the middle of his half, to Triantis in the middle.
Sunderland fans are still singing though.
He lays it off on the right wing to Johnson. Now Mundell back to Ekwa. Hooks it down the right, looking for the run of Johnson. Johnson down the right touchline, trying to get the ball away from the corner, is holding it there, and then a throw to Preston. Lincoln 0, Harrogate 2. Nearly an hour played here at Deepdale. Preston North End leading with a 37th minute goal, a deflection up over Simon Moore from 12 yards. This throw will be taken by Preston, so 10 yards from the
two more
corner
subscribers,
flag.
Thank you.
Greenwood
2,492
with it. Greenwood effectively playing as a left winger, and Hughes has dropped back into that left back position. Greenwood the left wing back.
The club's just not interested in the league.
Out wide here to Anderson on the left hand side. Down the line, Aushish, Barr, under pressure from Potts and from
got to be stronger.
Whiteman concedes the throw.
No excitement at all.
Brad Potts is going to take this.
The sooner they get rid of it, the better, as far as I'm
halfway inside his own half on the right hand side. Down the line, looking for Rees.
Yeah, I'll work out how to put a timer on Jules next time. I will do that for the next game. I'll have a look at that.
Half on the right-hand side.
Again, 15 minutes into the game, Nick, I just think that we've struggled in the second half to get going.
Yeah, I think
going forward.
They look like they need something to. They need a change of ideas. They need something just to spark them. Yeah. Here's Frockyar putting the ball into the middle. Ledson. Rigg tries to nod it away from Ledson, but Ledson maintains Preston's possession with the ball back to Hughes. Out to Greenwood on the far side. Back to Hughes. Lifts it down that left wing. Ledson plays it into the path now of Greenwood. Down the left of the penalty area. Here's his cross. And Frockyar, well, I'm not quite sure what he was trying to do. I thought he should have been heading straight at goal, but he headed it diagonally across into the path of Will Keane.
Yeah.
But he couldn't get his foot on it, and it went behind for a goal kick.
Well, I think he's headed for goal, Frockyar. He should have scored. Oh. Well, he should have at least hit the target.
He's 5 yards wide.
Yeah, but again, we've been caught wanting, especially down on that left-hand side.
Goal kick out to Anderson.
Wrong decisions.
Here's Frockyar again. Steps away from Ekwa, gets it to Keane. Bromley 1, Wimbledon 2. Here, Mundle on halfway. As he finds Rusin. He gets a shove in the back. The advantage from the referee. Mundle's on to this and finds Zach Johnson in the penalty area on the right. Low ball in. Straight at the goalkeeper. Ashish was waiting for a mistake, but Johnson's shot comfortably taken in the end, really, by Freddie Woodman.
And that's the only option he had, Ashish.
Yeah. So 1-0 still to Preston. Here's Sunderland trying to get forwards again down the left with Anderson. One back by Preston and Keane on the break. Into the Sunderland half, out to Frockyar, looking for Potts in the penalty area, pulls it back, but it's put behind by Hjelde for a Preston corner.
Excellent block.
Potts has caused them a lot of problems tonight with his pace. He's tall, strong, fast, hair in a ponytail. He strides back out into midfield. The corner will be taken by Greenwood on this right-hand side for Preston. Short to the edge of the area, played back and offside Greenwood. Free kick to Sunderland, who look like they're warming a couple of players up. Whether that's going to be a
Tom Watson
change yet.
Just to freshen things up, we just need a sparkle, Nick.
So Moore takes the free kick. Carlisle 0, Stoke 2 in a game that kicked off at 7:30. Here's Hjelde swinging it across to the right to Johnson. Greenwood goes to close him down, tugging his shirt a bit, but Johnson gets the ball back to Triantis, who plays it across to the left to Anderson. Anderson on the halfway line, forwards now down this left side to Ashish. The ball whipped off his feet by Whiteman. It's a throw to Sunderland. Barr will take this. In fact, he won't. He leaves it for Anderson to take the throw on the left-hand side. Down the line, headed away for another throw to Sunderland by Jordan Storey. Joe Anderson comes down to take the throw again. More than halfway inside the Preston half, and Rusin
well done, Rusin.
Tried to winkle his way in down the left side of the 6-yard box and hammers his shot into the side netting.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
You might have heard about the new travel trend, which is known as raw dogging. When you go on a flight, phone, no sleep, no water, no food. Misha, you look very angered by this.
Total rubbish.
It's been that crap, even the live audio commentary's gone off from SAFC.com.
With no air conditioning. Your younger sibling's been sick after 2 hours. You play I Spy Forever.
This is
and
how
you
bad
also
it
listen
is.
to the same mixtape at least 7 times. Raw dogging. Sounds
What
like
the
pure
hell?
luxury to me. Rubbish, absolute rubbish.
Matt Bailey at breakfast. Back tomorrow when
this is
you
just
wake
an
up.
advert.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Well, nervousness has extended to the studio, but we're back with you. 1-0 still to Preston, but another corner.
Adverts on when there's a match on. Come
Sunderland
on.
the left-hand side. Ashish will take this again. Keane putting the ball out just a moment ago. As Ashish pauses for a moment, and now with his right foot hammers this in towards the near post. It's headed behind for another corner. Story getting his head to it this time. And Aushish again. Rigg is down with Aushish for the possible
There you are, Jill. I have got the timer on now.
It's flicked across by Triantis right across the penalty area, and Greenwood gets the ball away, and it'll roll down the touchline and is kept in on the far side.
They really need to sort it out, Colin.
By Anderson, who's drifted over to the right, and a foul then on Ekwa. It's a free kick to Sunderland just inside the Preston North End half. Halfway through the second half, 3/4 of the game gone. A change, I think, double change by Preston about to be made on the far side. Preston leading by that 37th minute goal.
Sunderland just didn't want to progress to there. They just didn't want to go through.
To Triantis. Across here to Gelder.
It's a shame for the fans that's gone down.
Inside his own half still. To Ekwa in the centre circle. Out to Anderson again on the left-hand side. Derby lead Chesterfield 2-1 now, and Story plays the ball back to Freddie Woodman. Woodman clears up to the halfway line, onto the chest of Rees, who finds a player, Frockyar behind him, or is it Ledson behind him? Burton 0, Blackpool 1. Ball out, substitutions I think about to be made as Anderson about to take a throw. A triple substitution by Preston. I think Whiteman's going off for Dwayne Holmes. The American Dwayne Holmes. Rees going off as well. And Keane going off. And who are their replacements, those two? Barrow 1, Portwell 2.
Coming on.
Sorry?
Dwayne Holmes
is coming on for Whiteman.
I know you feel
who's coming on
about
for
more
Rees
ambition.
and Keane. Yeah, we know that. Yes, Osmajic.
Thanks for the subscriber.
The one that we've all been talking about, the Icelander, Stefan Tordarsson.
Tordarsson, yeah.
It's the third
Well, if
substitution.
anything's cheered me up tonight, it's everybody that's
Tordarsson, 21 Iceland cap, signed from Silkeborg in the summer. The 25-year-old 6'2" as Aushish down the left wing now to Barr. Barr taking on Potts, swings across to the back of the area. Greenwood brings it down for Preston, and it's cleared away down that Preston left, and then driven back upfield by Triantis, I think. And there's a change for Sunderland. Is that Rigg coming off?
Yeah.
Well, Harrison Jones is coming on for Rigg.
Yeah, they're obviously resting Rigg. They obviously don't want to risk him for the league game on Sunday.
Sunderland's first change, bringing on the 19-year-old midfielder for Chris Rigg.
It's clear what they're doing.
70th minute.
They're giving Barr a run out to see if he can improve.
So
I don't think he'll get anywhere near the team in
defending
the league,
to do, because Preston have got through to the edge of the area and they score.
There we
the
go.
Ball driven in low from the very edge of the penalty area by Frockyar. He made a break through the middle.
Oh well.
And in the 71st minute, the Dane Mads Frockyar Jensen has doubled Preston's lead.
Oh well, good night.
Yeah, again, we've lost the ball there. But you've got to say, you know, he's shown good strength. Strength there, held him off, drove forward, got his shot away. Unfortunately, Moore had no chance with a shot.
No.
With a strike there, right into the bottom right-hand corner.
Strength, wasn't it? Frockyar using all his height and strength to burst through, and the low shot drilled underneath Moore. And Preston lead by 2-0.
This is shocking tonight. Like, this is absolutely shocking performance. Well done to Preston. They're doing the job. You've got to say well done and congratulations to them. They're going to go through the next round. But we've just not been interested in the
they've got a
second.
mountain to climb. And you've got to say, what we've seen in the second half, Nick, we've struggled to get going.
Had that little flurry of corners, but failed to really make an impression from those. As now Preston with Woodman drives one away from Barr up towards halfway.
We always go out in the first round in cup games.
Plays it back
very
to
rarely
Fowler,
do we progress into
away
round
from
3, round
Brockyard,
4, round
suddenly
5,
he's found an
etc.
extra
Very rarely do we
in
do
his
that.
legs. The way he's darting about in midfield with his socks rolled down.
I think all of our fans are drunk, mate, to be honest with you.
Left is Barr. Behind him, Oshish. Oshish is blocked by Brad Potts, pushes the ball back here to Anderson. And back onto halfway to Ekwa, who gets a nudge in the back.
That's why I
the
just
American
wasn't really
Dwayne
looking
Holmes.
forward. I look forward to chatting to everybody online and that, and coming into the chat room. It's great. But looking forward to the game, no, because this is what you get every single time on cup games.
Well,
we are just not bothered.
Foul to me on Jones, but the
not bothered
referee says not, and Jones just has to pick himself up quickly and get on as the ball played through by Oshish to Barr in the penalty area, and he's tried to play it across the keeper and in, but it's saved by Woodman.
Yeah, again, it's on his weak side, isn't it? You just didn't fancy him. Barr on his left foot.
Freddie Woodman just
totally with you there, Kevin.
Holding the ball, waiting for everybody to drift upfield. Kicks from the right
for the
corner
Sunderland
of
fans
his
paying the money to
penalty
go
area.
down.
Barrow 2, Port Vale 2. Jones stabs a foot in, gets the ball back here, but he's fouled and wins a free kick for Sunderland. Harrison Jones drops the ball quickly. Need to be show a little sense of urgency. Another change for Preston.
Yes, my darling.
Going off, yeah.
Hey, want a drink?
He gets a standing ovation. He turns and accepts the applause. Sheffield United 2, Wrexham 1. And who's his replacement?
Number 29.
It's
Hayden.
Kessler Hayden, who's on loan, the defender from
MACKEM says didn't really expect to win, to be honest, not playing our second string. But yeah, absolutely, MACKEM. I'm just using this as a run out for our second string.
Played around 24
Peter
games
Harvey,
for Plymouth last
they
season.
Just don't want
on
this.
loan.
They just didn't want to go through. They're just not bothered.
Wing back.
This is just like a friendly game. I know it's wrong, some people say it's wrong, but we're just treating like this like a friendly game. They're not bothered. As you say, Ken, why take Rig off and leave Barr on the field, for example?
Picks the ball
Is
up.
Barr still on?
I think Hughes is at left back, Lindsay and Story with Kessler Hayden here on the right for Preston. Lindsay on the ball. Plays it
well
out
done,
to
Preston. You
Hughes
deserve the
on
win,
left-hand
especially in the
side,
second
hooks one
half.
down the line.
You cannot
looking. The flag comes up here. Flag
keep
is
bitching
up
on and saying this is a friendly
the
blah blah
Montenegrin
blah.
International.
They're doing the job.
Ekwa playing it across
simple
now
as that.
to Hjelde, just outside the Sunderland penalty area. Just over 15 minutes left to play. Preston leading 2-0. A goal in each half. On the halfway line is Rusin. He's pushed down by Liam Lindsay. It's a free kick halfway between the centre circle and the touchline. Quickly taken out to Johnson. Back to Triantis. Across here now to Hjelde. Out to Anderson. In his own half still.
Thing
back
is,
into
Michael,
Triantis.
they're just not invested, mate. They didn't want to go through. They're just not bothered.
Dwayne Holmes just lurking around him, gets it out to Johnson.
They're just not. The club,
Back
they
to
didn't want to go.
Triantis.
They didn't want to progress.
Across to Hjelde.
I really wish the Sunderland fans had not
scoring
bought tickets.
against Blackburn just riled up the visitors.
Not going to watch this
Stockport
game tonight.
1,
They should have
Blackburn
stayed at
6.
home with the tartan slippers and the
Here's
pipes.
Oshish looking
Honestly.
to get on this ball down the left and wins a corner. Story stabbing it behind. What they need here is a good delivery. If they could score here now, it would make the last 10-15 minutes very interesting. Oshish at the left to take the corner. It won't be short. Everyone else now jogging in or around the penalty area as the ball swept in by Oshish. It's headed out powerfully, actually, from the edge of the 6-yard box. It's come back up.
Preston North End, Jeff, you might get promoted
who's
this
driven
season.
it back in, but it's wide. It's gone halfway between the goal and the corner flag for a goal kick.
I hope our
Blackpool
season improves at
typical
home. Our home
defender's
form's
shot
been
there,
shocking.
Nick. But again, you know, that question will come up, what we're lacking. You know, you look at Preston and Torderson, who's just come on. You had Will Keane, who was on. They've got a focal point. You know, they've got somebody who's got a presence up front who can hold the ball up.
Thank you.
7,231 here this evening.
Thank you very much.
I was told at half-time that's considerably more than they were expecting after Friday's defeat, but with Ryan Lowe departing, they reckon added a good number onto the gate, as trying to wheedle his way through his Kessler Hayden wins a free kick.
It's our reserves. Take a
over on this near side, just inside the Sunderland half. They want to try and take it quickly, but Barr's not letting that happen. And across comes Greenwood to take this. 5 yards in from touch, 15 yards inside the Sunderland half. Preston 2-0 up. And Greenwood, left arm raised, now comes with his right foot to drive us into the penalty area. Oh, it's headed over the bar. It was an opportunity. I think, is it one of the centre-backs? Was it
yes,
Lindsay?
It was. Is it Lindsay?
Looks like it, yeah, Lindsay. Strong header over the crossbar, though.
Free header,
Nick. It was.
Free header.
It just landed on his head from Greenwood, who's now trying to get forwards. Holmes back to Greenwood. He pokes it back to Ledson. Ledson looking for not Keane for...
Cheers, Colin. Good night, fella. Sleep well. You're welcome, Susan. Anytime, mate.
Right-hand side, and chasing back is Kessler Hayden. Puts an arm, elbow into Barr's back a couple of times.
Thank you for all coming into the chat.
Wins the ball, no free kick, and puts the ball out. Off Bar.
Hell with this result. You guys matter.
To Preston.
Have all stuck with us tonight, and I'm really pleased for that. Thanks for every single one of you.
Substitution, Nick. Sunderland.
Sunderland are now. I think Tom Watson's amongst them, isn't he? So with
that was in the ice age, wasn't it, Michael?
12 minutes left. Hamir is also amongst them.
Yeah.
There's a free kick to Sunderland just outside, 10 yards outside the penalty area, left side of midfield. Looks like this.
They're not a bad bunch of fans.
Made after the
PNE, Jeff.
Free kick by the look of things.
Crackers, but great fans.
Barrow 3, Port Vale 2. Now Sheesh placing the ball now. Equa to his right, Mundle to his left.
Stockport 1, Blackpool. Blackburn 6.
Steps back a couple of yards to the left of the ball. He's going to have a shot, and it's straight at the goalkeeper. It curled through the penalty area, straight at
Regis Labrie standing
Woodman.
there with his arms folded.
Yeah. 2-0 then still to
Looks sick
Preston.
as a chip, he does.
Burton 0, Blackpool 3. Ball out to the Icelander, Tordarson. Back it goes to Woodman, and Woodman hooks this up to the halfway line, looking for Potts, who's pushed a lot further forwards now. Now Kessler Hayden to Story. Story, Bar on his shoulder, pushing it down to Potts. Inside then on the left-hand side to Kessler Hayden. Potts again is on the break here through the middle. He's got Greenwood in the centre. Greenwood and Tordarson. It's won back by Zach Johnson, though. He's trying to get away from Potts, and the ball pushed out by Potts off Johnson for a throw. And the substitutions will be made now by Sunderland. Bar coming off.
Jefferson Bennett coming
Bennett, yeah, the replacement. First time we've seen him in recent weeks. Sheesh is going off. So Tommy Watson coming on for Sheesh. Rusin. Amir. So there's the three substitutions. Bennett, Watson and Hamir are the new faces with 10 minutes to play.
You know, we talk about the second half, Nick, and we haven't even mentioned the likes of Mundell.
No, he's not got
into the game.
The ball, has he?
Well, we haven't got into the game in the second half.
I don't think we've shown up, Gary, in the second half. Never mind got into the game. I don't think we've...
Anderson down the line now to Bennett, and he plays it inside
still in the
to
changing
Mundell.
rooms, I think.
Back to Anderson, back again to Moore. Across to the right corner of the penalty area, Triantis. Back inside to Hjelde. Hjelde in the middle of his own half to Triantis. Pushed on, straight into the path of Greenwood. Greenwood into the middle now to Holmes. Holmes closed down by Hjelde, it comes back to Tordarson. He's skipped through 2 challenges, plays it to Ledson, finds Holmes just at the edge of the centre circle.
Close this second half.
Too many red and white shirts in front of him. He plays it back to
absolutely
Tordarson. Out to the left then, where it comes back inside to Ledson. Tries to get it down the left wing and tries again to find Greenwood, but Zach Johnson blocks it, finds Triantis. Back to Moore, closed down quickly by Osmajic, but cleared again. Tordarson on the halfway line. It's finished at Carlisle 0, Stoke 2, as Story plays the ball back to Woodman. Hamir went to try and cut it out. It's played out though to Stefan Tordarson. Then to Lindsay, out wide to Hughes on the halfway line, inside to Sam Greenwood. Greenwood looking for the run here of Kayla Kessler-Hayden, and it runs away from him for a throw to Sunderland. 10-15 yards from the corner flag, but the referees pushed him back a yard or 2. Lincoln 1, Harrogate 2, and the ball thrown to Hjelde. Back to Anderson, back to the goalkeeper.
Oh, it's kind of weird for full time.
7 minutes left. Sunderland to try and reduce a 2-0
Yeah,
deficit.
my mate just says, Brett Gibbs has just says, as soon as we've seen the team sheet, we knew straight away they didn't want to win.
Simon
the minute
Moore
we seen
in the
that
middle
team
of
sheet,
the
that was
Sunderland
it.
half, and his
That was
green goalkeeping
Sunderland sweeper, high.
kit. Back out wide to Johnson, inside to Triantis, then to Ekwa, back to Triantis, across here to Hjelde. Now back into the middle to Triantis, to Ekwa, trying to find Johnson on the touchline halfway inside the Preston half. Now a chance for Tommy Watson to get on the ball. He gets onto it on the touchline, cuts back inside, leaves it now on the far side for Jones, comes back inside, then to Johnson. He's hustled off the ball. Dwayne Holmes on the break here, Ekwa in front of him, so he has to turn and play it back inside to Greenwood and along the halfway line to Potts. Potts back, eventually to Story, forwards again to Potts, and a break by Kessler-Hayden on the right touchline for Preston North End, chased by Jefferson Bennett, played back to Tordarson at the edge of
Once
the
again, thank you
centre
everybody
circle
in the chat and who's
Lindsay.
watching tonight.
Slip by Hamir, played again
Couldn't
to
do it without
Tordarson.
yous.
He turns away from Hamir, plays it back to Lindsay, and Lindsay out wide on the left-hand side to Hughes, forwards to Greenwood. Sheffield United 3, Wrexham 1. Tordarson back to Lindsay, down the line again to Hughes. Going with him is Tom Watson, but he's left it for Greenwood.
They don't even bother about getting the ball off Preston here. They're just passing it all over the place. Preston.
5 minutes to play.
The Preston fans are going, ole, ole, but Sunderland they're just not bothered. One iota.
Out to the right, Story, forwards to Potts. Potts back to Tordarson, back again to Woodman. Plays it out through the middle to Tordarson.
We can't get near him, Nick.
No.
You know.
Preston toying with Sunderland at the moment to a degree. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Don't forget, we'll have the reaction.
They're not toying
in
with us at
tomorrow
all. We're
night's
just not
Total
bothered.
Sport. But Harrison Jones trying to get away here with Mundell, but Kessler-Hayden wins the ball back. Finds Brad Potts, holds off Watson. Plays it back.
Even a lot of viewers are getting fed up now. We did have 240 in there watching. We've now got 179.
Hamir goes to close him down, taps the ball to Hughes. Lindsay.
Just like in
trying to
real
put
time
pressure on
in it.
Lindsay, but he gets it back.
If
to
you
the
were at the
goalkeeper.
game, you'd be wanting to go home.
6 o'clock tomorrow night on BBC Radio Newcastle. 2 hours, Total Sport back to 2 hours now every night, 6 till 8 o'clock. And remember, our game at the
Any
weekend
Saudi leagues looking at
is
bar.
at
Hope we do
midday,
better on
11
Sunday
o'clock
when
build-up
Mattis Dougies.
for the
Simon.
home game against
MACKEM, at least
Sheffield
the gaffer
Wednesday.
knows just
On
how bad our
Saturday,
second string
Newcastle
is.
get their season underway.
He's got
Full
it.
commentary from
He's
St
got it.
James's Park
Great
at
ball.
3 o'clock as Bennett plays the ball right across the penalty area to Johnson on the far side, inside to Triantis, who slipped it inside to Watson. Watson in the middle of the Preston
Thing is, for
half.
10 minutes,
Sunderland got
we'll
an
look
advantage then for a foul on
absolutely
Triantis.
class for 10 minutes.
Anderson tries to get it through to Mundle, but it's picked up by Kessler Hayden. He slips it inside and intercepted by Anderson to Hamir. Leaves it for Mundle. Mundle on his right sails over the angle of bar and post.
You're welcome, Jesus, mate, anytime.
Behind Freddie Woodman's goal. Still 2-0 to Preston. 3 minutes left. Woodman strolls across the face of his goal, the ball being retrieved to
He's Mundle's
ball boy
chance.
there, no more than a couple of feet
Oh.
tall. His bib, he seems to be
That's the excitement for the
submerged
second
under
half
so
from
big.
us.
Sitting down in front of the advertising board, and Woodman will take the goal kick.
You're welcome, Paul. Trying to
Preston
put
North
some
End,
fried
the
eggs on.
players
Oh, absolutely. Fried egg
just
sandwich. Tomato sauce, though.
heading across towards us in this main Tom Finney stand. The ball hangs in the air. Potts trying to get on the end of it. Anderson trying to get a foot round it. Osmajic trying to get the ball, but Potts has fouled.
Yeah. Again, that's a bit of experience, bit of strength. You know, the physicality side, especially in the second half, we've
Absolutely
struggled.
P&E, Jeff. Of course, totally. Easy to make out
Ball
you're
left
not
for
fussed when
Sam
you're already
Greenwood
lost.
to take the free kick.
Hey, good luck in the rest of the competition, P&E, Jeff. I hope he's gone on to win the
Much
thing.
improved on the game 2 weeks ago with his team.
Hello, Barry Graham. Yeah,
Much more intent,
great
much
game
more
you guys have
purpose
played.
about them, but I think, you know,
Simon Cheese, Cabby, for the
second
live
half has
feed. You're
proved
welcome
that
from
the
Cape Town, Simon.
experienced
Anytime, mate,
Preston have
anytime.
got in this team.
Blackpool have got another goal. They're now 4-0
As
against Burton.
Watson crashes into a challenge on the far side. It's a free kick to Sunderland. Mike Marsh in charge tonight and again on Saturday named a strong team to start
It's hard
with.
to judge, Dougie.
Arguably he's made it even
On
stronger
this-
as the game has
on
gone
this
on
game,
with
to
some
be
of the
honest with you.
substitutions he's made. Story shuffles the ball out, throw to Sunderland down the left.
But no, you've got to
Mundle
give credit where it's
is
due.
gonna
Well
leave
done to
this
Preston.
for Bennett to take with just a couple of minutes of the 90 left.
They've done the job.
It's now left for Anderson by Bennett.
Richard
to take
Stedman, great
the
team.
throw.
Can you see you
Ekpa
soon,
comes
mate? Yep.
across.
Absolutely, anytime. Thanks
Anderson
for popping in, mate.
Finds Mundle.
There'll be more
Bennett
videos
back
tomorrow.
To Mundle on the touchline here, down this left-hand side, almost in the corner, and it's just nudged behind for a corner by Kessler Hayden. Could they get one back now in the 89th minute?
Quality balling, that's what you need.
Mundle from the left.
Wishful thinking there, I think, Nick Barnes.
With his
lad.
right towards the far post, headed back across over the roof of the net by Hamir. Seems obviously the player who was trying to pick out Mundle. Hamir almost on the corner of the 6-yard box
let's
on
have
the
another
far
look at this
side,
chance
just
then.
couldn't direct the ball under the bar.
Yeah, he couldn't direct it on target, really.
Goal kick.
Well, you know, you look at the two teams, Nick, and I would say
And that was
8 or 9 of this Preston team which started will be starting on Saturday.
Oh, without question.
You know,
Without
and then you look
question.
at Sunderland, the starting 11, none of them will be starting on Sunday.
No, I mean, Mike Marsh made 3 changes at the start of the game, but he's brought on the likes of Torderson, who will play at the weekend, Greenwood, who will play at Swansea at the weekend. You know, he's making a statement, isn't he, Mike Marsh?
You know, it's an opportunity for him to get the job.
Yeah.
5 minutes more torture? Oh, man.
5 minutes to
Derek says
play.
I've had enough going now, Stu.
We're into
Thanks for
those
the
5
stream.
minutes
Anytime,
now.
mate.
Preston
That
North
didn't
End,
show
if
up,
you're
did
just
it, on
joining
the,
us on
camera?
BBC Radio Newcastle leading 2-0.
showing any better?
Watson on the far side, pushing the ball back to Johnson, inside to
So we've got to
Jones.
wait another 5 more minutes of
Back
this.
to Hjelder in the middle of the Sunderland half to Anderson. And he swings the ball
You're welcome,
wide
Dougie.
right. Looking
No,
for
I agree,
Zach
P&E,
Johnson,
Jeff.
headed in the air
It's-
by Greenwood, who gets a
the
second
championship is
header at it.
nuts.
Trying to find
It is
Torderson, but
nuts.
Johnson's picked it up. Leaves it for Ekwa. Back to Johnson. Johnson wide on the right, halfway inside the Preston half, down the line to Watson. Now with Sunderland trying to find an opening through Jones. Back it comes to Johnson. Back again to Triantis on the right side of midfield. He's making a lunge towards the Preston penalty area, but Holmes has won it back. A foot in from Anderson. It comes through to Bennett, and he drags the shot wide of the right post.
Unlucky. Dragged it.
Cheers, Maverick
Just slightly
Loggins.
off balance, left foot drag, a yard past the foot of the post on the right-hand side. Minute and a half played of the minimum 5.
Well, my phone isn't showing up now on the camera because
Woodman
it's that dark in here.
Just walks along the 6-yard line and decides finally where to put the ball. Players again.
In the Championship, yeah, it is getting to the stage where the top two dominate.
The likes of
Mixture in the playoffs, but anybody below the playoffs is capable of beating anyone.
Well, he's not had much game time in
Woodsy,
we
put our B team
pushed
out,
in the back.
but Preston did play well. Yeah, they did, Woodsy, they did.
The
I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they're
free
not.
kick taken by
Thanks for the stream,
Gelder,
says
3 minutes left.
Tim the Minion.
Triantis
Anytime, mate, you're
across
welcome.
to Johnson on the far side. Longer ball down the wing for Watson to chase. He will do so with Lindsay on his shoulder. Lindsay holding off Tom Watson. Watson doesn't give up, but the ball slipped inside to Hughes, out to Torderson, and he passes it straight to Zach Johnson. Johnson trying to go past the Icelandic international, but he slid in and concedes a throw to Sunderland, 5 yards from the corner flag on the right-hand side. And Johnson goes across to take it for Sunderland. In the 93rd minute, drops on the goal line, back from Jones, and Jones gets it back, and he's going to play it back to Ekwa.
33 minutes.
Into
what
the
hell's that
middle
on
to
about?
Mundle, back to Ekwa, little chip over the top of Brad Potts, drops here for Anderson on the left-hand side, swings across in, headed away from the edge of the 6-yard box by Hughes, out to Potts. Bennett's trying to win it back, drops for Mundle. Mundle now urged to shoot, plays it across to the right-hand side, and it's Johnson who shoots into row 6 of the stand behind Freddie Woodman.
I'm not even going to bother showing the next
goal
one.
Kick for Preston.
Stevenage have pulled a goal back. It's
2-0
Norwich 4, Stevenage
heading
3.
into the second round draw tomorrow night.
Well, I hope the Sunderland fans have a safe journey home tonight. I don't think they'll be watching the highlights when they get home, put it that way. Greg Bucky, hello Greg, welcome mate. Roll on Sunday, how are the lads? Thanks for the stream. Anytime Greg, anytime. And if anybody's new, click the subscribe. Thank you very much. Not many Sunderland fans now left, they're all streaming out.
Ball
They've had
out for a
enough.
throw to Preston North End. Remember, the draw tomorrow night is regionalised again, so
good luck for the rest of the season, PNE, Jeff. Yeah, you're welcome anytime,
until
mate.
the third or fourth round.
Sleep well if you
which
can.
one. It's irrelevant now, really, to Sunderland, of course. Throw taken by Johnson, back here through Triantis to Moore, taps it out
Enjoy
to
your win
Gelder.
tonight.
Less than 30 seconds of this cup tie left. Sunderland couldn't force a way to find penalties, going 2-0 down in the 71st minute. As the ball given away to Osmajic, and it comes off the inside of the left post. That was nearly 3-0. The Montenegrin can't believe it. It's come out to Potts here on the edge of the penalty area, leaves it for Kessler Hayden, and now Holmes, who taps it back out to
You're welcome,
Potts
James.
on the right, and we're into the 6th minute, and I think this will be it. It is indeed. It finishes 2-0 to Port Preston. I don't think Sunderland can have any quibbles about that.
Thank God for that.
Not at all, Nick. And you know, from the start, you look at the two teams.
Thank God for that. Well, there we go. Good night, Jill. Sleep well, pet. Thank you, SCFC, for the commentary. Let's read a few comments on the chat. Where are we? Yeah, Preston North End, Jeff says, good listen night, lads. Paul Freeman, Greg, Chef Wednesday will be a very tough game. No pushovers. Absolutely not, will it be? Sheffield Wednesday will be right up for it after their really good result against Wayne Rooney's side. Days' football is an easy game, but just made difficult by idiots who are in charge. KLD and Speakman. James, SCFC Ramsey, hello mate. Cheese for the stream, Mara. Doesn't matter about the cup. Bring on the league. How well the lads. John C. I'm probably in the minority here, but second game of the season, nobody needs resting. A chance for the first 11 to gel has been wasted. I think they're just terrified of getting injuries, to be honest with you. It's got to be. Night all, says Steve Hall. Gordon Seymour. The advert interruption was good though. Thanks again, Cabby. Catch up on Sunday. Marco73. How many that have played tonight can say they should be playing on Sunday League? Sunday League, perhaps, yeah. May not even get on that. None is the answer. We must invest in genuine first-team players. Absolutely. Maverick Loggins, thank you. Take care, Cabby. Gary Farrell, says Preston. You were, well, yeah, you played well tonight, Gary. You deserved your win. Enjoy who you've got in the next round. And cheers for popping in and enjoy your win tonight. And Dougie Stewart, just annoys me why we can't compete. Well, I'm going to shut things off now and I'm going to get a cup of tea and some pig trotters for supper. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Love yous all, and we'll